So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. So after my first video about the Michael Osifo and his side chick Chidinma Ojukwu went live, I have been getting several feedback and prompting from you guys regarding a certain conspiracy going round involving or insinuating that Mrs. Brenda, the late Supertv CEO boss, was in on the whole saga. Before I go on, please, if you are yet to watch that first video, I strongly recommend that you click here right now and watch that first video, because it's going to give you a very deep and detailed insight as to this whole saga before you can even understand what I'm going to talk about now. So if you have watched it, let us go on. I do not know the source of this speculation or this message that has been making the round on Instagram, WhatsApp, and all social media platforms. But first, I would like to quickly read the salient points mentioned in that message. The message that insinuates a conspiracy theory that tries to rope in Mrs. Brenda into this whole murder saga goes as thus. Brenda's boyfriend, yes, boyfriend, that is the late man's wife, her name is Brenda. Brenda's boyfriend is related to Chidima, and in fact her paternal uncle Izu. Brenda's boyfriend Izu is related to Chidima, and he's in fact her paternal uncle. Izu and Brenda have been going out since she was employed at NNPC, and they are really in love. Osifo, the late CEO, is the only one standing in their way as they plan to get married after a divorce. Brenda and Osifo's marriage had been in tatters for some years, hence their decision to live apart. Brenda needed a good evidence of cheating in her marriage in order to push through a quick divorce. Izu volunteered to use Chidinma and arrange a setup between her and Osifo. At first, Chidinma refused to go along with this plot until he threatened to withdraw the financial support he lent to her education. Chidinma thus reluctantly agreed. The plan was for Chidinma to lure Osifo to a setup destination wired with all sorts of monitoring and recording devices. This would be a hardcore evidence Brenda needed to push through the divorce. I don't want to read this message forward verbatim, but what it eventually says is that they met up at the hotel. One thing led to another. They got into a scuffle. Osifo got violent on her, and she had no other option but to use the knife. And when she realized that she had killed him, she called Izu. So when she informed Izu about what has happened, this story is saying that Izu sent his boys to go pick up Chidinma, and they did, took Osifo's ATM cards and started making withdrawals from his accounts. The first point that I would like to address here is this unknown writer, this unknown gunman, saying that Brenda, the late man's wife, needed substantial evidence to proceed with her divorce plans. I'll tell you what. I know so many of us are aware that infidelity can be a ground for divorce, right? But what so many of us are not aware of is that there are so many other grounds for divorce that is not centered on adultery or infidelity. I have a good mind to make a separate video for all the grounds for divorce in Nigeria, because knowledge is power. The more we know about these things, the more we'll be able to analyze situations when they come up. I'm going to make that video separately. But there are several other grounds that we are not aware of, that even Michael Osifo and his wife Brenda already fell under, that she didn't even need to go to that extent to get a divorce. Now, that law that governs divorce in Nigeria, marriage, adoption, everything matrimonial causes, there's a law and it's called the Matrimonial Causes Act. That act provides in section 15 that where a couple have lived separately for up to 2 years before initiating that divorce proceeding, that is a ground for divorce. Not living separately because of they want to live together but circumstances made them live apart. If that party can prove that they are living separately because they are no more interested in one another, that is a sufficient ground for divorce without having to prove infidelity or adultery. So all Brenda Osifo had to prove was that their living apart was as a result of irreconcilable differences, and that is enough for any judge to dissolve that marriage. This woman is a very educated, very enlightened, and very exposed person. She has all the resources to hire the best senior advocates of Nigeria, the best lawyers, the best SANs. She can, with the flick of her thumb, get a divorce on a platter of gold. So why would she want to go to that extent? Why would she want to risk it all when she can get a divorce on a platter with the flimsiest reasons? Do you guys know that our law states that when your spouse has behaved in a way that it is not reasonably expected for you to live with him or her, that is a ground for divorce? Can you imagine how broad that term is? You can say anything in the world that can fall under that person behaving in a way that you are not expected to live with that person. That can range from emotional abuse to everything in the world can be squeezed under that section. So when there is a law like this and this woman is exposed to get lawyers that would give her the best advice, that would give her the easiest route out of her marriage, why would she start stooping so low to set up her husband with a university undergraduate? That to me does not add up. What do you guys think about that? Another thing that this unknown writer mentions that so many people are taken by, so many people think that it makes a lot of sense to premise their conclusion on that situation is that the two couples, or the two of them, were living apart. They were living separately. The wife was in Abuja with the kids and the husband was in Lagos alone. Now let me bust your bubble. Let me tell you what, real life, true life is not like in the movies. So many families find themselves in situations where husband and wife cannot live together, or at least temporarily, especially career-driven couples. Now we know from this woman's profile that she's a high player in the oil and gas sector. She has risen to the zenith, to the echelon of her career. It is very possible that she was posted to Abuja and her only choice was to go there or to give up on her career. It is very possible that this media house, this telecommunication industry that her husband runs, was only possible for it to be run in Lagos. So it was impossible for him to just pack his bags and baggages and follow his wife to Abuja. So many couples, for so many reasons, have to make do living separately from one another until they can find a middle ground. It happens in so many marriages. So just because this man and his wife were living separately or in separate towns or cities does not justify us running into hasty conclusions that their marriage had hit the rocks. When you are climbing up the ladder in your career, you get to some crossroads at times that very difficult decisions are made. And one of those decisions might include you being temporarily away from your spouse. And with the distance, the only thing that would be sustaining that marriage is communication, constant visits, and commitment. So please, insinuating that the woman in question has a lover, or she wants a divorce, or the marriage was not working just because she was in a different city, without any other concrete facts to support that claim, is pure babash. Once again, what do you guys think? Another thing that, that just makes my stomach churn when I read or hear people say it is when people say that, what wrong did the man do? Absolving him of his wrong. That what wrong did the man do? After all, he's separated from his wife. They are separated. So he had every justification to hook up with another woman since him and his wife were separated. Let me hint you a little about the law of separation. In separation, the only thing is that cohabitation is temporarily suspended. The full legality of that marriage still stands. To all extent of the law, that marriage still subsists. It's just that cohabitation has been suspended, but that marriage still exists in law, and the both parties are prohibited from getting married during the subsistence of a separation. A man or a woman is not any inch from being married just because they are separated. So let us assume that Mr. Osifo and the wife are indeed separated. They are not divorced. That marriage is still existing. You could be sued for adultery, or you don't know. So many people don't know that adultery is a civil wrong. Adultery is a crime. It's just unfortunate there are so many laws in Nigeria that is very difficult to implement because of the society. But you that committed adultery, it's a crime. It attracts a 7-year penalty. And the person that committed adultery with you, knowing that you are married, can be fined, can be taken to court, and the spouse of that person can get damages for you sleeping with her husband or his wife. Perhaps you can go and ask Daddy Freeze. Some months ago, this popular OAP, Daddy Freeze, was fined a humongous amount of money for sleeping with another man's wife. Yes, it's a crime. You could be fined for doing that. So let us not hide behind, okay, a man is separated, a man is having issues with his wife. You see some ladies, men will come to you and tell you, I'm having issues with my wife, and you think it's okay for you to start a relationship with him. The first question you're supposed to ask is, are you two legally divorced? Has the marriage been nullified or quashed or dissolved? Having issues or being separated with your spouse does not make that marriage any less legal. That is ease. So let us beware and be careful about drawing up some conclusions without knowing the implications, legal implications of our conclusions. Another thing that I would like to address is the bias, the prejudice that comes to a woman who is successful, the average successful woman in Africa. I don't know whether it applies to other African countries, but in Nigeria, it is such a big thing. When a woman has risen, has grown, has gotten to the peak of her career, especially when she's an attractive woman, a shakara woman, not like looking like mommy Okonjo Iweala. No, not those mommies. If she is a peperempe woman, a shakara woman, and she has gotten to a certain level of her career, regardless of the field, you see people, it's a norm in the society for that success to be attributed to waywardness, to infidelity on the part of those that are married, or to some other factors short of hard work and dedication. It is quite unfortunate. When an actress gets to a certain level, oh, it's going to be, she has been sleeping with producers, she has been sleeping with directors to get to that level, to get her roles. When a banker is successful in her banking career, she's smashing her targets and going head on, getting her promotions. The insinuation is, oh, she is sleeping with men to give her money. She is sleeping around to meet her targets, to smash her budgets. And now a successful woman, a successful oil and gas magnate, we have started attributing the whole situation and bringing in infidelity to smear her name. Why this bias against women? Why this stereotype? Regardless of what happens, regardless of the situation, even if the man is to blame 100%, somehow society would rope in the woman and apportion a little part of the blame to her. It is always her fault. She must have done something. She was too busy. She wasn't taking care of the man. The man had to go out. She was too tired. She wasn't satisfying the man sexually. The man had to go and find it outside. There is always something that the woman did or did not do. Going on a smear campaign against Mr. Michael Osifo's wife, Brenda, is a very sellable, easy and convenient story to go by. But let us ask ourselves this question with all these points that I have raised. Let us not forget that no human being with a face has come out to give account of this story. It is mere hearsay. It is just a message that is circulating in the media. If the person is confident that this is the truth, let that person come out and put a face to this story and own it with his or her own chest, with her full chest. Those of you saying that Mrs. Brenda has not come out to rebuff these rumors, do you think that when a woman just loses her husband and the father of her children, what is paramount to her is to come to social media to start rebuffing gossips and rumors? A woman who has probably been thrown into shock. let us take it easy and be certain of the means of our information before we start drawing conclusions. I went on a page today and I was seeing people calling her out already, calling her names, calling her a witch, calling her wicked on an unverified story. Just to add butter to bread, Chidima herself has come out again to give further detail to her story. She has said that the woman, Mrs. Brenda Osifo, has no hand in what happened at that Airbnb in Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria on that fateful day. Let's hear her briefly.
I didn't plan on killing anybody or kill him. It was just to get money from him. I totally regretted everything I did. My child's ambition was to be actress and music. We were just friends. I've met with him like 4 or 5 times. It takes drugs, it takes sex, it takes smoke, it drinks. So I let him death and wasn't at midnight. I didn't take his clothes. I only took mine. I just took it and I took my dresses out. I haven't killed before. Well, I don't know the wife. I don't know the wife. Neither have I spoken to her before or anything. Okay. And for uncle, I don't know. No one threatened me not to pay school fees or do what I did. But my dad paid my school fees.
Now that is the horse herself. That is the horse's mouth. And those are the words coming out from the horse's mouth. So tell me guys, as I would always say, you do not have to agree to my point. This channel is a place where reasonable people, logical people come together and we think, we analyze issues, we give our opinions respectfully. If you think that you still believe that there is some sort of conspiracy that involves other people apart from Chidima, do let us know why you think so and what your thoughts are in the comment section. If you think that Mrs. Brenda Osifo had no hand in what transpired at that Airbnb on that fateful day, also drop in the comment section. I'm looking forward to reading all your opinions and trust me to give my own response. So guys, we have come to the end of today's video, but before I draw the curtain, I must conclude saying that this story is faceless, is baseless, and is riddled with plenty of holes. To me, that is my own opinion. If something concrete surfaces, trust me to bring it to you guys and dissect it and analyze it in that critical way that I know you guys enjoy. So our fingers are crossed, our eyes are open, and we're hoping that the root of this is gotten to. Thank you so much guys for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Share the video to people that you think would benefit watching it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not. Drop your comments in the comment section. And I'm going to see you guys in my next one. It's me, your girl, Barrister Neze Peperempe. And this is Nezeville. Bye guys.